What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the verified one at Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host.
The producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Hello, Greg. How's
the
your
Hispanic
mouth?
heartthrob Texas. What was that? Wait, you say, how's my mouth?
How's the top of your mouth feeling these days?
Oh, my God. He's the Hispanic heartthrob, Texas Street, Latino Heat, clicking heads, ripping to shreds, the Globetrotting, headshot, and Nitro Rifle from Twitch.tv, Andy Cortez.
You're getting really good at that, Greg.
Thank you. Well, I had to clear the mechanism. That's all. You know what I mean? And then Nick's offending me. And then, of course, our special guest for this episode, you know him, of course, from a million different things, most notably probably Rick and Morty. It's Justin Roiland. Hello, Justin. Well, he froze right as I introduced him.
He's frozen.
It's so good, right? So bad.
This was his whole thing of like, oh, man, Discord's bad, but he can't even get Zoom.
I swear to God.
There it is. Okay, there you're back.
I have a button I press to just
go to freeze frame. You son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Stop pressing the
low
button.
signal.
Low signal.
I just saw my.
This is a disaster. This is great.
This is. Oh yeah, I was gonna say this is right up our alley. You know what I mean? Of how it should go.
Absolutely.
Now, Justin, you figure out your Wi-Fi over there. You figure out what you're doing over there.
Okay, no. I think I just fixed it. Yeah, I think we'll be good now.
Okay. Hey,
how are you?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Oh, that's cool.
You're good.
Yeah, I know. It's cool. It's been a while since we hung out. What have you been up to? You doing things?
Yeah, I'm busy. I got a bunch of shit going on.
That's great. We'll talk about that all in a second. What I need now is for you to defend me. All right. I need you to defend me, Justin. All right.
Okay,
Tell me right now,
best.
is there a better treat in the history of the universe than a nice bowl of frosted mini wheats, just raw, not in milk, just eat them like candy?
Well, that's a dumb question. You're saying, is there a better treat in the universe? Because
that's right.
I can name 90.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
No, it's great. Nick makes fun of me because I eat
covered pretzels.
Oh, those are really good. Those are smooth too. They don't screw up the top of your mouth.
They're delicious. They're salty and sweet. I mean, there's a lot of things, man.
The top
you could have said, is there a better
cereal?
You could have
Framed it better. Yeah.
shrunk that universe a little bit. Is there a better, grainy wheat-based cereal than, you know what I mean? Like,
is there a better dry wheat?
Approximately 1 inch by 1 inch cubic cereal that you can put in your mouth.
Then I would have still said no, because I would want some frosting on it, some blueberry frosting or something.
Yeah.
That's just me.
That's fine, but I'm just saying, like, Nick, I like my cereal dry, Nick, and I'm not going to change for you. All right,
It's not that I don't like a good bowl of dry cereal as a snack. Everyone likes that. That's our God-given right as human beings, is to be able to grab just a handful of high fructose corn syrup and just shove it into our mouths and crunch on it. What I'm thinking, what's crazy to me is that you like the pain. You want, like, it's guaranteed that the roof of your mouth, everything you eat and drink for the rest of the day is going to sting a little bit now because of that.
They call it shredded wheats for a reason. It shreds the top of your mouth.
Shreds the top of your mouth. It's like
is it as bad as the Captain Crunch fucking cereal?
No, Captain Crunch, the Crunch Berries is like
so jagged.
You could use that to sand your deck.
Yeah, that's the only one that maybe I don't need enough wheat squares. What are they called?
Frosted shredded mini wheats.
They are frosted. Okay. Frosted.
So I'm not some kind of psychopath out here just eating little mini bales of mini wheats. All right,
I could have sworn you said regular
frosted.
mini wheats. I could have sworn you said normal unfrosted mini wheats, and I was like,
hey,
that is a easy question to answer.
Those are terrible.
Those are no good for anybody.
See, Nick, what you're forgetting about the roof of my mouth right now is that it's a lot like the tip of Andy's fingers. Andy, what are you?
Steel.
You're an artist.
Gamer. He's a gamer.
And what happens when you're out there and you're tickling the old strings there on your guitar?
On the keys. Yeah.
You build up some calluses. So I want to Andy, show your finger to the camera, right?
You see that?
Nick, imagine the top of his callus fingers are just like the top of the roof of my mouth. All right.
Yeah.
From years of eating pizza when it's too hot.
Just rough and hard, and
it feels like an alligator's back. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You ever put super glue on those little puppies? You ever put a little bit of super glue on there to
Nothing better than that, especially when you haven't warmed up in a bit. You're out of practice a bit, Greg. Yeah. I'll get a bit of super glue, just put it all over my whole hand.
It just seems like super glue. I mean, I'm just going to unpack
What's
this.
the
right?
super
That
glue
seems
for?
like it's cheating. I feel like you're cheating.
The super glue is a
Justin,
protective
are
coating.
you super gluing your hands too? Are you playing guitar over there? You slapping the
I've done
bass?
it. Yeah. Back when I did music, I would definitely. Yeah. Because yeah, like you said, if you haven't played in a while, you don't have the calluses, or if you like I would do at times pick them off like a fucking idiot. And then you're like, oh shit. Why, when you go to play, you're like, oh, why did I fucking
You ever
do
do
that?
the nail
That was-
clippers?
Yeah, no, yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm very like, I like to fucking, when I'm stressed or nervous, I'll just pick, at my fingers. So yeah, it
Every once in a while, I'll
Yeah.
destroy the progress of my callus by just getting nail clippers and clipping off the dead skin on the end of my finger.
Oh yeah, no. And then
feels
you're
good.
like, what did I just
Feels
do?
True artist there, Andy Cortez.
Yeah, because it's almost like, when Tiger Woods goes out there on the golf course and realizes I need to rebuild my swing. I need to start from scratch. Something's wrong. And for me, it's like I need to rebuild the calluses on my fingers. And you just put a bunch of super glue all over your fingertips.
I don't get I don't understand.
You will one day. One day you will, Justin.
When I start golfing.
One day.
Yeah.
All right.
There was, I think Andy's basing that on the documentary y'all watched on Tiger Woods, where he had to go back and like completely rebuild the swing, and then
I see.
I
Came
watched
back
like
to
20
greatness.
minutes of it. I didn't finish it.
It's an
a very
inside reference
dark
for
documentary.
you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to a show
Yeah,
that's
that-
entirely our inside references.
Yeah.
You're
Always got
not
a
going to
list.
get anything of value out of this, Justin.
See, I got a list here. I need a list
Yeah.
of inside references.
Justin, of course, congratulations. You're here celebrating the 5th anniversary of Squanch Games. Congratulations. How does it feel?
It's really cool. I have an incredible fucking team. We're making amazing shit, and we're celebrating the 2nd year anniversary of our first big game, which sold very little copies. Actually, it's funny. It's sort of it's sort of like a Double Fine game where it's like it initially didn't do so well, but it's kind of got a good tail. Like it's
Sure.
it's.
We were talking
we've
about
done-
Trover Saves the Universe, right?
Yeah, Trover Saves the Universe, and which is available on all platforms, not just VR, everything. That's the big fucking whiff. We really fucked up the marketing when the game launched, like really bad. So nobody knew it existed. I still have, like if I'm ever recognized out and about, which it's fucking, that hasn't happened lately because of for a while.
The world.
Yeah.
There's been no about.
But prior to that shit, I would always ask, have you ever heard of this game called Trover Saves the Universe? And nobody had ever heard. Nobody knows.
Like,
They're
no,
like,
no.
what are you talking about? So that was sort of my first indication. Yeah, we really fucking fucked the marketing up.
Well, because correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong, as somebody who played Trover in PlayStation VR, you fucked up the marketing, sure, but it wasn't. PlayStation was really behind it, pushing it as a VR game, right? They wanted obviously people to pick it up for PlayStation.
Well,
VR.
yeah, it's interesting because they were over the moon when we sort of reached out and said, hey, this thing's playing really well on flat screen or on traditional or whatever you want to call it. It's like we were doing, like when we were past pre-production and we were sort of into like headlong into like full on production, I would walk into the bullpen and I would see, designers like play testing shit with a controller on a flat screen monitor. And I'm kind of watching over their shoulder and I'm like, okay. Like if we tweaked a few things and we sort of optimized this actually, I think this could be a really good flat screen title. I mean, yes, there are limitations here because of the VR component, but it's like it's all the cool shit. Everything's there, So when we reached out to Sony and we told them that, they were super into it. They were like, oh my God, a dual SKU. Like we fucking love dual SKUs. Holy shit. but then it was like very VR, because of the nature of the launch of PSVR and like trying to really push that as a platform. So yeah, and then of course I don't blame them at all. I blame the Squanch, marketing. We had all the tools available to us. We fucked all of them up. We just didn't have the right people in the right positions, and we didn't know. And it was early days. And I mean, listen, man, try starting a company. It is. There's so many little surprises around every fucking corner. I'm just like, look, I just want to make shit. I just want to make fun shit, But then there's all this like bureaucratic, or not even bureaucratic, just bullshit red tape
Yeah.
You know, that you have to
Oh,
deal
you're preaching
with.
the
It's
choir
just-
on that one. I mean, you can talk to Nick about building the new studio and how many red tape conversations there's been of what the city needs and how we need to do this, let alone contractors during COVID.
Wait, are you guys are in San Francisco?
Yeah, we're up in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
just watched
actually-
a little mini documentary about a guy who has a fucking like a arcade / skee ball place, and it's
Mhm.
it's like maybe within 1,000 feet of a school, and there's all these people preaching to the they're like, we don't want this arcade / skee ball play, and I'm like, what the fuck world is this city? Like,
What's with the
fuck is going on?
anti-skee ball agenda?
I consider myself to be like center left, like pretty center left, you know, politically, like not to get into politics, but I'm just like, watching this going like, I don't understand this. Like, this is weird cartoon clown land. Like, I don't get it at all. Like,
Well, it's well
fucking
documented
crazy.
here in San Francisco that skee ball is the first avenue to drugs and the devil.
Yeah.
So we can,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, that's what
Skee ball
these people
actually-
made it sound like in these city hall meetings. They're like, this is gonna lead to cancer and drugs and AIDS.
Which is
And it's
weird
like,
though,
what do
because you would think that you'd want kids nowadays to have a place to go in real life.
Listen,
You know, you'd think like an arcade. If I had a kid, I'd be like, yes, go to the arcade, be around,
Make
other
some
children,
friends.
see them in real life. Yeah.
yeah, no, I guess not in San Francisco. I don't know. I mean, it seems like that's probably a better choice than maybe some of the other places to go to in modern day San Francisco. But who knows? Anyways, not to sidetrack, but yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
What are we
about
even
your
talking about? We're just having a conversation.
No,
Sidetracking
the studio red tape. No, but I mean, yeah, like, but anyway, so yeah, we fucked up the marketing. We whiffed it, and you know, as a result, I think, you know, this game, which honestly is like, you know, I think it's one of the things I'm the most proud of as a writer, creator, and as a gamer. You know, like, I mean, I sort of realized like, I don't know, like I kind of tapped into all of this like just deep buried gaming knowledge, game design knowledge that I had sort of like accumulated over my entire life and sort of didn't realize was there, you know.
Yeah,
and in the early, but before I partnered with Tanya, like the early days, I was like writing all this shit down in my notebooks and game design and playing a bunch of VR and like testing VR, and all the shit made me sick. And I was like, how do I make a game that doesn't make me sick or doesn't make anybody sick, and but still takes you on a journey across all kinds of cool, weird worlds. And you have and what I wanted was a lot of NPCs or weird characters that were there to say a bunch of shit about what you were doing, very aware of you, you know, like that
Sure.
was the number one thing. And that was what I was really missing sorely at the time in VR. I think there's more of it now, which I really appreciate.
I want to
But
go
yeah.
back. I want to go back before that, because you mentioned that it's a pain in the ass to start a company. But how do you go from, you know, voice acting on a lot of cartoons to saying I want to create a game development studio? Like, what's that process like?
I think it was just so we had like a few months off between seasons 2 and 3 that I demanded. I was like, I demand.
I
demand
I'm
some
putting
time
my
off.
foot down. I need a month
Dude,
off.
yeah, I was really burnt out after season 2 of Rick and Morty, like real bad. And I was like, I need like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was 2 months. I was like, I need 2 months of just nothing. And in that time, of course, I fill that time with work, but it wasn't work. It was
I
like,
immediately went back to work.
yeah, no, there's a difference between like bills you have to pay work and then like just creating a bunch of cool ideas, you know,
Right,
just like
totally.
coming up with cool shit. And that was more what it was. And it was just like, you know, I was free. I had no shackles on me, and I was just, you know, coming up with stuff. And I was like, you know, and also just so happened to, you know, meet Chet Falasek and a bunch of the guys at Valve and get my hands on a Vive way
Oh,
before
no big
it
deal.
had
Yeah,
come
you just
out.
met these guys.
Yeah, no big deal. Just my fucking brain was melted and exploded for, you know, from like, I had room scale VR in my front living room 8 months before anyone else is going to get it. And I was inviting everyone I could think of over to play Job Simulator, the 2 levels I had. I was every time I was reaching out to Alex Schwartz going, hey, can I show them the fucking the store level, the convenience store level? And he's like, yeah, who is it? Yeah, okay, that's fine. But no, I was just like showing it. I was showing the whale thing, the what was the company that did the crazy underwater? Is it
Shark?
I can't remember their name. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's a bunch of great early day Vive stuff. But anyways, during that time, I
The
was
tower
filling
defense bow and arrow
sketchbooks.
one.
Oh shit, my connection unstable? Hold on. I swear to God, I just spent so much money trying to fix my fucking internet. Am I good? Am I good? Or is that?
Yeah, you look great to us. Yeah, you're fine for us.
Okay, I don't know what that was. Okay, I
But
got
if you want to throw the people who screwed you over under the bus, go for it. We're fine.
Yeah, we're fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, don't. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it.
Potential partner.
I don't know, because honestly, I don't know if it's Spectrum or if it's them. I just whatever. Anyway, I have full bars. That was sort of my main job. Was like, can I just get a fucking signal in the house? Okay, but anyway, yeah. So you know, I was kind of filling sketchbooks with all of these sort of hypothetical VR concepts, and I got more and more into it and more serious about it throughout the course of that break. And also that's the break that I was working on Solar Opposites, sort of coming up with all the crazy shit for that. And yeah, by the end of it, I was like reaching out to UTA and meeting with Ophir Lupu, who's over there as the head of the video game team. And I was just like, hey, I'm really serious about this. You know, like, and then I got introduced to Tanya. I met a handful of producers, you know, because it was like, you need a producer, you need a studio, you know, person that can do the shit you don't do to partner with. And so, yeah, I met with her and she was integral to the studio. Cause that was like, you know, once I met her, it was like, okay, game on. And then we took this pitch out that I had, and Sony was like, we want to do this. It was John Drake, and it was Adam Boyes. And,
I'm sorry I had to work with them.
Geo, and
thank God they're all gone. You know what I mean? Thank God Jim Ryan came in with the broom and went
just swept them all away.
Dude,
wait, you're behind the Trover deal? Get the fuck out of here.
No, I miss all those guys. I'm sad. I mean, listen, I'm you know, like Greg is there, Greg Rice is there, which is fucking cool. But like, you know, I mean, yeah, I don't know as many folks there now, and so it's a bit of a bummer. But those guys were so fucking cool. They were like, look, you know, the game I pitched to them was very different than the game we ended up making. Like the game I pitched was a room scale game. It was a room scale. It was a shooter. It was a room scale game. They just said, look, we don't give a shit. We love this so much. We want to be in business with you, whatever. Let's just do it. So we did a deal. And then I sat down with the hardware, and I was like playing a lot of like Samsung Gear VR stuff with a, you know, gamepad VR basically. Yeah. And then that's when I started to realize like, okay, my favorite game in this world, the seated VR, is is a platformer. I just fucking couldn't get enough of these, like the City Repairman, and yeah, there's a ton of good platformers, VR platformers, but yeah, so I was like, I want to make a really badass fucking platformer, but I want to be able to explore the world. I want to be able to meet a bunch of weird characters that know what I'm doing, like we did in accounting and all that kind of shit. So but yeah, like Sony was, I don't even know. Sorry, what the fuck was the question? I'm so sorry, man.
Just like
you're doing it.
Yeah, you're doing it. It's just
this
like,
isn't a typical interview. Don't worry about it. You just talk. We're here to talk to you about this thing in your life, and then whatever stupid thing we bring up. You don't have to worry about.
I was just curious.
Okay, cool.
I was just curious about like the start of how do you make a fucking studio, and is it something that you had been putting on the back burner for years until you eventually hit your burnout and said, I'm gonna actually do this now?
No, yeah. So it happened very much during that break, and it was with it was once I met Tanya, and that was through like, you know, Ophir and Cliff Blazinski and a few other people, and they all kind of said Tanya's the partner for you. Are you guys all there? Can you hear me?
We're
you're good.
Okay, thank God, because you guys are all frozen for me for some reason.
We're just listening intently.
I can hear you guys, but you're not moving. All right. So yeah, and then it was sort of like, you know, once I partnered with her, she really brought the muscle in regards to staffing up a team, build, you know, I mean, listen, she was learning too. I mean, we were both learning, like, what do we do? How do we do this? I was more focused on the creative, and she was more focused on the infrastructure, the operations, and the staffing. And then, of course, we met with everybody in key positions. And, you know, I've got people on the team that are in director positions that were there from that very initial, you know, beginning of the studio. So, you know, and of course she left, you know, everyone I think is aware that, you know, she took off for greener pastures, and, but she was, I mean, we're still good friends. And she was like, you know, the studio wouldn't exist without her, you know, or at least it wouldn't exist in the way that it exists without her. So, Super, super grateful to her. But yeah, and then it was a bit of like, okay, now I'm spinning a lot of plates, but you know, I had this great team and I kind of knew what I wanted to make. And really we sort of just, with Trover, we were kind of winging it a lot of the way through in a good way.
Sure.
I think it helps the game. I think when you play the game, you can hear a lot of the stuff that you might not hear in another game, which is like, you know, a lot of loose dialogue, a lot of improv, a lot of fucking around, in a good way, you know.
Well, yeah, and that's a question I have, I guess,
which is kind of interesting. I think Trover is like the interdimensional cable 3, kind of, in a way, because we didn't get to do it. We didn't get to do it for the show, season 3, and we still haven't done a third one. But like, we keep teasing it, but we haven't done one yet. I think there's literally 2 teases in season 5, and people are going to be. I guarantee people are going to be pissed on both of those. But they're gonna be like, "Oh fuck, it's fucking interdimensional cable 3." But no, it's no.
Buy Trover. Buy the game, we fucked up the marketing. That's where it is.
Really,
all right, that's where it is. So my question for you is, like, you know, talk about Accounting Plus and you talk about Trover, right? Both games we adore here at Kind of Funny. Of course, you can check out the PlayStation VR show all about Trover Saves the Universe at kindoffunny.com/Trover. Let me check my notes.
Huge plug.
Only 7,000 of you ever watched that. So get your asses in gear, kindoffunny.com/Trover. Go watch that. But you know, my memories of both Accounting and Trover are being in the VR headset and laughing my ass off. I remember once playing at the office and taking it off, and Tim was like, "What are you playing?" And I had to explain that it was one of your games. How hard is it to nail your kind of comedy inside a video game? Because you're talking about improv, you're talking about that, but like, obviously for games and comedy, both are so reliant on timing. How do you do that?
So we give ourselves a decent tail at the end of production. Like, our production schedule is sort of unique in that we have a lot, I don't want to say a lot of time, but we have an additional window of time, you know, once we hit beta, to kind of really polish the writing in sections that need it. I'm not like a Trey Parker type, where I don't want to accuse Trey of anything that is
talk shit,
not on point, but I'm not talking shit at all. But like, I think some writers, if they live with the joke for too long, it loses its, punch, or it starts to wear. Yeah, it starts to wear off. And I think I'm not one of those folks. Like, if I find something really funny initially, it may not make me laugh later on, but at least I can remember, like, okay, this is a good joke. Like, this one's good. I don't want to change this. I like this. But then there's a bunch of jokes that aren't good, that are legitimately bad, that need work. And so we focus on those, and but when it comes to gaming, it's like writing a TV show that someone can reach into and fuck with, right? So you're writing a bunch more shit. You're writing a ton of variables and branching things that all have to kind of make sense within the context of what's going on. And I don't know. I mean, it really wasn't that hard, believe it or not. I mean, I think the new game we're doing is way fucking harder. And that's on me. That's my fault. But
man, are you sure you should be running this company? You're talking about the fucking the marketing. This new game's really hard.
Yeah, no, the new game's gonna be great, but it's just gonna be a lot harder to do than Trover, because it's just a lot more to write. There's a lot more writing, but yeah, I think I don't know. It was pretty like similar. It was like, look, if something's funny, it's funny, and if we can surprise players. Like, my biggest thing was, as much as we could up until we really had to cut it off, I wanted to have stuff that players were getting surprised by. Like, I wanted players to be, blown away or surprised. If they tried to do a weird thing, there would be a response to that. That was sort of what I really wanted the game to kind of show. But
no. This Spectrum internet in this house.
What? We need to know.
Hollywood celebrities, they're just like us. Their internet sucks.
We're so close to getting the answer.
He's really contemplative about his answer. You know what I mean?
It's just that I think, Greg, if you're going to do that, you have to go with a cereal that's got a coating on it, which is
it has the frosting. It has the frosting.
Cheerio would be slick and it would go into your mouth, but
it doesn't have the taste. Honey Nut Cheerios suck. If I'm being honest, can we be honest right now?
Dare you?
If guess who you see eat Honey Nut Cheerios all the time? Fucking babies. And you know why? Because they can't have real cereal. They can't have some shredded mini
babies
wheats.
are untainted
Real
by all
cereal.
the fucking politics of the real world, right? They're just pure beings that understand.
Next baby you see, give it a spoonful of salsa and see how it likes it, and it won't. And that's why babies are dumb.
You're the biggest idiot I've ever fucking heard.
You don't know. Well, you work for me, Andy. So how big of an idiot does that make you? You know what I mean? Huh?
A bigger one. A bigger one.
Ah, you goddamn son of a bitch.
How the hell are you gonna say Cheerios are over Honey Nut
Cheerios I get, and even then it's like whatever. They're inoffensive. It's fine. But Honey Nut Cheerios are like the de facto standard of cereal.
That's a default.
It's bland bullshit. That's
when
what
you say
is.
cereal. I think Honey Nut Cheerios. I do.
100%.
Like cereal. You say paint a picture in your head, Andy. Andy, close your eyes. Close your eyes, Andy. Lick your lips. Paint a picture in your head of cereal. What do you see?
Hey, sorry, I have no idea what the fuck just happened there.
That's all good.
It's fine. And now
we're talking about cereal. It's okay.
Yeah, we're back to cereal here. Honey Nut Cheerios, is that a good cereal, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a. I mean, listen, if you were starving, like if you had just gone like on a fucking hike and you hadn't eaten all day, like you'd probably be like, "Fuck, this is fucking every bite is delicious."
Sure.
Not like Fiber One,
yeah,
whatever those like gross little, where you're just like, oh yeah, this is just even if you're starving, you're probably not gonna want to eat that.
Nobody wants that. Honey Nut Cheerios can get out of here. All right, they're just not. Okay. It's nothing special. It's for babies, and then you get taste buds, and you can eat other things, and that's what you move on to.
It very clearly is for babies and for old people. Like I don't think I've ever seen an adult.
Ever seen a cereal that's fun? Go, hey, we're heart healthy. Well, this is gonna help you. This will keep you from dying. Like that's what oatmeal says. And you know what oatmeal also says? Put a bunch of shit in me.
Oatmeal fucks though.
Put a bunch of shit in me. Yeah, no, oatmeal's great.
I put a bunch of Honey Nut Cheerios inside a little cup, just one by one.
Really? Do you guys remember oatmeal swirlers, or what was it called? Oatmeal swirl-ins, or whatever. It was like otemeal, and it came with a pack of like shit. Go-gurt? You would kind of just squeeze into it like a
Oh yeah. I think I remember what you're talking about. Where it would come with a brown cinnamon swirl that you would like squeeze into it.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Or like
it's a malto meal.
We can all agree that cinnamon is kind of like the best add-on to a lot of
like a sugar
things,
cinnamon,
right?
Not normal
like
cinnamon.
Cinnamon sugar, yeah.
Because like people who put a dash of cinnamon in their coffee,
delicious.
It's not working for me.
I
need it to be mostly sugar with a dash of cinnamon on top of it and like gooiness.
Go to hell.
Anyway, I like cinnamon by the spoonful. Just
no, you don't.
You're
no.
Get out of here,
psychopath! Don't do it.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I have a bullshit question I want to ask you guys.
They're all bullshit questions.
I've been thinking about. Something was proposed to me recently, and I kind of got stuck on it. And the thing is, there's some smarty pantses out there. Kevin, I'm sure, is going to chime in and have the obvious answer here.
Sure.
But the question is simple. Would you rather stay in prison for 1 year or stay in prison until you complete a Rubik's Cube?
Oh, for me, a Rubik's Cube all day.
Because you just got that shit down? Because I have no understanding of these damn Rubik's Cubes and how they work.
I can do a cube. My best time is 1:12. So
holy shit. You're not in jail that long then. That's great.
You're not getting through booking. They're gonna get you fingerprinted. Like I'm done, let me out.
Unless they make you go through booking and then you get the Rubik's Cube and then you're like,
oh, fuck it. Now here's the big question for you though, because like obviously what if they handcuff your back behind your back, right? You're in the squad car.
Oh yeah, no, I need to see it.
You gotta see it.
I need to see it. Yeah, no, my friend Bobby can fucking do it behind his back, and I think he looks at it and then he knows what to do, which I'm not there. I'll never get there.
Bobby's a fucking badass, man.
Yeah,
that's probably.
I've never solved one, but I think I could get through it before a year.
I think I could do it like in a week, probably. I think I might luck my way into it, honestly.
What?
But you might not, Andy.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Jail.
I might,
There's a lot of like once you get deeper in, it's like you're almost done with it. There's a lot of just fucking it. A couple of this and a couple of that, and you're back to square one, and it's just like, oh fuck.
So now, did you get good at it, Justin, by like watching YouTube, or did you do it by practicing, or you like how did you?
Yeah, like I memorized the algorithm. So like it's just there's different algorithms that get you there quicker. But no, I mean I needed something to fuck with. Like I needed a fidget thing And those fidget spinners were fucking stupid. And so I wanted something.
Fuck you, Tim. You suck.
He's got one. No, I like a really good, nice, fluid, like squishy, spongy kind of Rubik's Cube. Not an actual Rubik one, but like one of the ones that are made in China or in Asia. Like those ones are really nice. Like they're spongy and squishy and like they just feel good to fuck with. But I was like, well, if I'm gonna fuck with this, I want to know how to solve it, you know, so I can solve it and shake it up, solve it and shuffle it up over and over. And so that's sort of that was my motivation for learning it. But I basically learned one layer at a time, kind of slowly but surely over the course of, I don't know, like a couple weeks or something. But I know a guy who learned it in 3 days, and I was just like, fuck. Well, I don't know if I put that much focus into it.
Yeah, maybe he did like 8 hours a day. You were like 30 minutes a day.
He was fucking focused. He was on it all day for 3 days. I was sort of like, you know, fucking with it, and also in the writer's room, and also this and that, and launching boards and doing all this shit. But so it took me a few weeks, but no, it's one of the things that I'm fucking grateful I know, because I have one with me everywhere I go. It's a great thing to just, I would have one right now, you know, if I wasn't.
God, I wish you just pulled one out. That would be the most amazing.
For a second, when you asked, and he was like, "Oh, I can do it quick," and he angled his camera, I was like, "Is this motherfucker about to solve a Rubik's Cube?"
No, I don't have one in here. I wish I had one in every other room practically, but there's not one in here.
Is it the solving it, or is the tactile feel of the switching that just kind of gets your brain going?
It's the feel. It's the feel.
I remember several years ago there was a Kickstarter that popped up that it's this company that was starting this thing called the Fidget Cube. And
I saw that. This
thing kind of exploded. This was like maybe 2013. It was a long ass time ago. And I remember backing it, and I was super stoked, and I ended up moving away before it ever shipped to me. So I was pretty bummed out about that. But then like a bunch of fucking random sites started just bootlegging them and making their own versions of the Fidget Cubes. But those things were, you know, similar to me. I have ADHD. I'm always fidgeting. I'm always tapping and drumming, and I'm tapping on my legs and moving around. I can't sit still. But this thing had like, it was essentially a cube, and on one side it might have a joystick. On the other side, it would have switches.
I know the thing.
It was just like a nice little feeling thing. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it has like an analog joystick on it.
Yeah,
like a GameCube fucking thing.
Yeah, it was like a PSP one almost. Yeah. Like it was just kind of like a flat thing that would move around. Yeah, the little nub was really nice.
So there are cubes that are absolutely beat that thing to death, but they're like $60, or you know, anywhere between 30 and 60, like but they're worth it. They're really worth it. They're fucking amazing. I'm trying to find the name of the good one, not to fucking
like
bore
nice
you guys.
Materials.
Oh yeah, like it's just like juicy and like it's like
the way you talk about Rubik's cubes is so crazy. Like the ones from Asia that are
you want to get the ones from Asia. They got that good squish to them.
The one you want is a GAN. It's GAN, and then it's got magnets on it. It has little magnets in it, so it's got that nice like kind of.
So it clicks.
It has a good feel. Like when you turn it, it kind of snaps. Oh, dude, it's so nice. It's so nice.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'm used to Rubik's Cube. You go.
Just that much of a delay. Just that much of a delay that's gonna do that. I like the stickerless ones. The GAN around $30. That's probably the winner. And then there's one that's $60 if you want like the Cadillac. And you can change the magnets out and stuff. But they're on Amazon if you look for them.
That's where I found it.
The Magnetic Speed Cube and GAN. So yeah, if you're a fidgeter and you need that shit, like there's nothing better. I've tried it all. I've tried the Speed Cube. I've tried the little fidget cube. I've tried the spinners. I've tried everything. There's nothing better than a Rubik's Cube, than a good fucking well-designed Rubik's Cube.
It's that thing where I don't think of myself as a fidgeter, but then like I'll notice like there's before I moved, right? I had that Thor hammer that I would twirl the entire podcast. And then recently after the Gen podcast where I was using the headphone splitter, I had this weird headphone splitter I was slapping around in my hands while I talked to everybody and all this weird stuff. I don't know what it is that makes that so satisfying.
I'm spinning my phone right now.
Right. Yeah. Like what about that actually works? I don't know the psychology behind it.
I'm just laser focused. I don't need any of this.
Sure you are, Nick. Sure you are. You drift off to Google something.
Dustin, I was gonna ask, you know, when you started Rick and Morty, your first kind of major star, I remember episode 3 was HBO show. Why am I forgetting? John
Game of Thrones.
Larroquette.
John Oliver.
The
You had John
Sopranos.
Oliver as one of your guests.
Oh yeah, the Anatomy of Park episode.
Yeah, and I've wondered, since you've done the episodes, you've kind of had some big names step in every once in a while to just play cameos, and not even necessarily cameos, just maybe the actual guest star of the episode. Are there any celebrities that you want to get in the future, or people that you would know, they would definitely say no, but I would love to get them?
Yeah, there's like a lot of the folks we've gotten that was because of, you know, us reaching out and just trying, like, let's just see. Because a lot of people like to do animation because it's like, you know, you can book them at a booth wherever they live. They go in, you record them over ISDN.
Right.
They don't. It's very easy, and it's like 20 minutes of their time or something. And then they get to. A lot of times it's like their kids are fans of the show or something like Susan Sarandon was like, you know, her kids were at least I'm pretty sure that was the case. Her kids were big fans of the show.
That's what she told you, but she's just a huge fan of the show. She doesn't even have children. She's like,
she's like, I don't ever admit things I'm a fan of. But yeah, like I mean, it's sad because like we really wanted to get Bowie way back, you know, and we had no idea. So we asked him for like 4 different things and we kept getting no. And at the time we had no idea. Nobody knew that he was pretty sick. We had no idea. No, the world didn't know. So we just kept asking him, hey, come do this, come do that. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. I know I'm going to be like, fuck later, but there's a lot of awesome fucking people I'd love to work with out there. Maybe Kristen Stewart would be cool, right? She seems like a fucking interesting person. I'd love to get her behind the mic and just see what like, I don't know if she's done any voice acting stuff. I'm sure she probably has. She must have, but
I can't think of anything off the top of my head she's done.
Yeah, I don't know anything off the top of my head, but it'd be interesting to see what she could do in a more like in sort of a dramatic, grounded kind of thing, you know, but also like something like Christina Hendricks in Solar Opposites is fucking amazing. You know, it's like she's really fucking good. And she's directed like, you know, it's like live action. It's like, you know, we really need to push it needs to be that big. It needs to be that, you know, level. Like you're acting in a live action thing.
Yeah,
and
sure.
It's harder to do when you're just in a room and there's just a microphone and then you're literally alone. And then behind glass is a bunch of nerds that are telling you like, okay, so there's a giant spider and, you know, you got to be afraid here. You know, it's like it's hard sometimes for actors that are more used to live action and sort of like. But I think a good actor can do anything. So I don't know. There's a lot of people I'd love to work with. What's his name?
Bill Murray.
What's the? Oh fuck! Of course, Bill Murray would be amazing. But I'd also be afraid. I'd be like, I don't want to piss him off.
You do that thing where he calls you like 3 in the morning and be like, I have 15 minutes right now. Do you want to do this? You're like, fuck, I'm coming.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Do it over the phone.
No, I would make it work. I don't know. I don't, not to say that he gets pissed off easily. I'm not trying to accuse him of that. I think Dustin Hoffman would be cool to work with. There's a lot of like legends, you know, obviously. Sure. Al Pacino, you know, all the legends. But then there's like younger folk that would be fun. It'd be fun to get Seth Rogen to come in to do something. I think Joe Rogan, since I fucking did the slip.
Yeah, I might
Joe
as well.
Rogan and Seth Rogen together, the Rogan brothers.
Family? You're gonna get the Rogan boys
that's
in
an
there?
interdimensional cable episode. That's an interdimensional cable.
2 Rogan brothers. Yeah, it's the Rogan brothers. That'd be fun. But
I feel like Timothy Chalamet would be good also. Just kind of a random person to just be on the show.
Yeah. I agree. I think there's a lot of fun to be had. I was gonna say this is gonna be a weird deep cut because my memory is this way, but like the Good Son, not Macaulay Culkin, but the
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood.
Yeah, Elijah Wood. There you go. Elijah Wood.
If you want to do a Good Son podcast, we will turn on a dime and we are all in. I read the novelization, sir.
That movie messed me up.
I almost threw a fucking what was his name? Mr. Jumper, Mr. Suicide off of a fucking. I almost copied that movie. My mom caught me and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Oh man.
If you're not familiar with The Good Son, they build a mannequin and throw it over the side into a highway and cause a giant car accident. You watch that, you're like, I should do that. That's what I should do.
Oh my God. I mean, I didn't want to cause the, I think in my mind, I was like, I just want to dangle him. I don't want to actually throw him. I don't want to go all the way, but like, you know, of course it would have slipped out of my hand. And next thing you know, oh my God. But
Terrifying movie. That movie scared me a lot as a kid too. Yeah.
That's the one
how
at
do
the
you
end where she has to pick between her real son and Elijah Wood, and then she just
Which
lets
is
the real
just
son go, right?
absurd. Just
But
absurd.
there's
Yeah,
no
let the psychopath
again
go.
in the novelization I read that I got
right,
from
here
the
we go.
The
Scholastic
kid tries
Book
to stab
Fair.
her.
No, she has she's holding them over the side and she remembers, she keeps going back in her head, how could her other kid die in, an inch of water or whatever it is. And she has that realization. She finally wrestles with it and understands that Macaulay Culkin drowned it, or her son, but drowned
right.
him. And so that's when she lets him go.
Can you
It's way better in
imagine-
the book. You have to read the source material.
Can you imagine being the director
I won't,
telling
Greg.
like a 7-year-old Macaulay Culkin, okay, so you're a murderer in this movie? Like that's got to be fucking traumatizing.
Macaulay
Well,
Culkin
you know
was
what's-
he was
he was
12.
ready for it, but he was
Well,
like, I
what's
want
even
out of
worse-
this fucking role.
What's even worse is being a kid and knowing him for Home Alone and all the fun shenanigans.
Yeah.
And then you see him and you're like, oh, I want to see this movie, another
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin
He's
flick.
terrifying.
And then you go and you're just like, oh, this isn't
Oh.
this isn't Explorers. This isn't a kid's fucking
'Cause-
movie. And then you're learning all this awful shit to do. Like, yeah, make a fucking dummy and throw it over an overpass. It was like that was
Like-
I was like, whoa.
The crazy gun
but
he
anyway.
made too.
Yeah. He's
Oh, yeah.
potato gun
Remember when he was in My Girl and he was just this? He was like, he did Home Alone and then he did My Girl, and then he was like, I got to break out of this. I'm gonna be a serial
Yeah, I
killer
gotta
for
do
my
something
next role.
sick.
Just dope.
I guess he
Girl's
already
range.
was training to be a serial killer in Home Alone, just with all the.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Could've
That's the
killed
prequel.
many.
Yeah, the movie where no one dies. It's almost Mac and Me level of no one dying. It's like just doesn't matter. Nobody ever dies in Home Alone movies, no matter how bad the fucking
getting a
accidents
blowtorch
are.
to the head and nail through the foot,
Yeah.
getting hit in the face with paint
God
cans
bless
over and
it.
over again, bricks dropped on you. Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Kinda Funny Reactions. It's our show that we do weekly, sometimes multiple times a week, covering, reviewing, recapping, reacting to the latest in movie and TV. Whether it's a movie trailer, a new episode of Star Wars The Bad Batch, which episode 1 and 2 right now, we have our thoughts over there. If you want any of the MCU shows, Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, all that stuff, it's there. We were even doing some movies like The Mitchells versus The Machines, which is out on Netflix now, and you can catch our thoughts on Kinda Funny Reactions, a show you can get on youtube.com/kindafunny or podcast services. Search for Kinda Funny Reactions. Please subscribe. Please leave good reviews. Please thumbs up, 5 stars, all the good stuff. 10 out of 10. It's all good stuff that helps us a lot, the algorithms and whatnot. But Kinda Funny Reactions is something that we want to grow and we want to push further. And the more people watching and listening, the more things we'll react to. That's just kind of how it works. We've been doing the Bad Batch for Star Wars. I'm not sure if we're going to do it weekly. If the reaction is there, we will. So if that sounds like something you're into, please check it out. But we're hoping to do a lot more reviews and stuff going forward. So please subscribe to that. Or if YouTube's more your thing, youtube.com/kindafunny. Kinda Funny Reactions. It's a damn good time.
No broken bones.
Is
no
it is it wild to you, Justin, that in 2 years Rick and Morty will be 10 years old?
I hadn't even thought about that. Is that true? Yeah, that is true, huh?
Like I for me, Rick and Morty is like a 5-year-old show that I still
December of 2023.
yeah.
Yeah, 20. Yeah. So no, that's bizarre. It's fucking bizarre.
It's really
But I will
weird.
say,
Yeah.
it's moving a lot quicker now. Scott Martyr joined the team back in like towards the tail end of season 4, and he's made a huge difference just in terms of like getting us on a proper, just getting things moving. Like just to get the show moving along at a faster clip, because we would have been 10 years in and 5 seasons. Yeah, it would have been like one season every 2 years kind of thing.
Where does
I think-
Solar Opposites start? Like how does that deal get into place?
That was at the very tail end of season 2 going into that break, and it was kind of like, I don't know, I just wanted to
do something else. You wanted to be more busy.
I just wanted something that was a little bit sillier or a little bit looser, because I feel like Rick and Morty's
too serious. Rick and Morty's too serious.
I've
It's
often
too
thought
buttoned
that.
up. That's what
Yeah,
I'm always saying.
That's why I said away.
It's very, very mathematically. I don't even know if that's the right word, but it's like the story breaking is like very like airtight, or at least it usually is. That's sort of usually the way we do it. And I felt like I wanted something as sci-fi and as crazy, but like that was just looser and sillier and didn't have like that we could hand wave away a lot of the stuff that on Rick and Morty wouldn't get hand waved away. It'd be like shit that we'd be like, no, this has to make sense. This has to.
No, this is
be
the
logical.
real Morty. This is the real Morty. The other one is all that sort of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Solar is. I'm actually really shocked at how well it's doing. Because I was really afraid. I was like, it was my second thing, and I was like, is this just gonna fucking tank? Are people gonna look at this and like compare it to Rick and Morty and just like kick it out of bed, get out of here?
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, it's doing really, really well. Like we broke the Nielsen top 10. We're the first show, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, but like I got some list of Nielsen's streaming numbers, and they started doing this last August. And I guess we're the first show on Hulu to break the top 10, like in the history of this particular measuring, streaming measurement tool, whatever. So it's like that's fucking crazy. That's absolutely mind-meltingly crazy. That our dumb little show is the first show to break that top 10. It's dominated by Netflix. It's like mostly Netflix, but yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. It's just way sillier, way crazier, way looser, and just follow the fun and just grab onto it and go with it. And there's episodes of Rick and Morty that do that for sure. Like there's plenty. Like season 1, there's a lot more episodes that kind of do that on Rick and Morty than and I think they're kind of I think like in the later, like season 5, I feel like there's a little more of that going on. Just grabbing it and going with it. I feel like there's still, even in season 4, like with the VAT episode, that was one that kind of didn't change much. The Pickle Rick episode didn't change much from inception to final script. It was pretty much, that's what it was. But
right.
But yeah, I mean, on Solar, they're all that way. Like every episode is just
whatever's gonna happen.
Here, what about this idea? Like, oh, that's okay. And obviously there's a lot of like, no, fuck that. Like that's not good. But the stuff that we like, it pretty much sticks.
Have you ever had any difficulty coming up with new episode ideas, because it is sort of anything goes with science and physics, and we can kind of make up our own fiction? And do you ever get overwhelmed by that?
No, if anything, it's you kind of have an endless. I mean, you could go anywhere, because you've got, well, for Rick and Morty in particular, you've got high school stuff you could do. You've got marriage stuff you could do. You've got just general family stuff you can do, and then you have like literally a portal gun that can take you to anywhere in space time. Not necessarily time. We don't fuck with time too much, but like you can go anywhere in space. Or
that's too far.
Realities.
That's a bridge too far for Rick and Morty. All right, we're not fucking with time.
Time is just a fucking. Yeah, man. I mean, unless you really don't give a fuck, I think on Solar Opposites we'll fuck with time, because it's like, who gives a fuck? Like, whatever. We'll fix it this way, or we'll undo it this way. But I think on Rick and Morty, we tried to fuck with time at the beginning of season 2, and it was the first episode that really melted everybody's brain and just kind of fucked everything up. We got through it, but it was just like, even the characters in the episode, we created these 4th dimensional time beings that we designed specifically to show up if we ever fuck with time, as sort of like omnipotent, testicle headed, just like 4th dimensional time cops that just are like, don't fuck with time, you idiots, like get the fuck out of here. Time is just fucked. I mean, even watch Back to the Future, the trilogy. It's like there's so many fucking loopholes and plot holes and paradoxes and things that they just kind of hand wave away. And like on our show, or at least on Rick and Morty, we don't like hand waving shit. It's like we want to know. We don't want people to be thinking like 2 seasons later, well, hold on, like that doesn't make sense because of the time episode when they blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like I
totally.
I can't stand that shit.
Okay, I was wondering if the hardcoreness of the fan base sort of made you all feel that way and say, yeah, maybe we should care more about the canon of Rick and Morty and whether, that thing is factual because it happened here,
Yeah, I think so. Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't hear the very beginning of that.
I was wondering if it was how hardcore the fan base became with what actually is canon that made you feel that way, or whether you just kind of felt like that inherently.
Yeah, no, that's just us. Like we kind of, at least for me, I keep the fan base stuff at like a very long arm's length. Like, I mean, I'm very appreciative and sort of like surprised, or just, I guess, the show was never in my mind going to be that big or as big as it is. It was sort of a big surprise. I kind of keep that all at arm's length, and don't really, definitely it doesn't have an
That's
impact
just who
on
you are. Yeah.
Oh fuck, did I break up again?
You're
Not
good.
to us, no, don't worry. I mean, we'll talk about cereal while you're gone again.
Yeah, your face froze a bit, but we could still hear you. I think.
He's super frozen. See.
Oh, now he's super frozen.
Way to go, Andy.
Super frozen.
You know what I
bad.
mean? I hate
My
you,
bad.
Andy.
I fucked this up.
Andy, what cereal do you eat dry?
Oh my gosh, so many.
What's your favorite cereal to eat dry? Don't say Cheerios. Don't lie. Don't lie for the joke.
Don't lie for the joke.
You know he'd do it. You know he'd do it.
He's back. Justin, you're muted though.
All right,
There
sorry
There it
about
is.
that.
You're
There
back.
you go.
No, you're fine.
I'm sending a speed test to my assistant now.
Get
because
out of
this
here
is
with the
fucking
Cheerios.
crazy.
Are you?
I mean, this is
God, he
crazy.
had it in
Like,
his
I literally
room.
just got my entire fucking house redone, and it's like for this kind of shit.
This
to not fuck
podcast,
up. And like here we are. Wait, are you guys? Is
We're
it
still here.
happening
We're good.
again? Is it happening
you're here.
again?
You're
Oh
here.
my god.
It might be for him though. I don't know. You can't.
Oh
tell
my
it's not.
God.
Yeah. See, look at this. Look at this. I appreciated the entire
I'm
house
like
redone. And the first thing he
I'm
did
like
was go put up a
mobility married
calendar.
right now. Like, yeah. Okay. My
Phil
internet's
Spencer
unstable.
Easter egg, Greg.
What? He's gonna. I
Zoom in.
can't even tell
What's
what's
on the
on the
calendar?
calendar.
They're fucking with time in season 5.
Exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
see, he gave us all. He gave us all the tidbits there to get there. Here, while Justin figures that, I'll say, of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny podcast. If you didn't know, each and every week, twice a week, we come together to nerd out with each other and bullshit around. If you like bullshitting around with us, you go to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get each and every episode ad free. You can get it with the exclusive post show we do, and of course, you can write
I'm
in to
not
be
even
part
getting-
of the show. I love it.
know.
Oh yeah, so I'm doing all that stuff. Of course, housekeeping for you. Remember, there's all sorts of cool stuff up on youtube.com/kindafunnygames right now. You can go see the Resident Evil 7 clips of Andy and Blessing playing Resident Evil 7 and being scared all the time. You can go over there and you can watch Kind of Funny Games Daily. You can catch PSLW XOXO right now with our brand new preview, behind closed doors preview of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Thank you to our Patreon producers on this show: Joshua Schroeder, Delaney Twinning, Julian the Gluten-Free Gamer, Steve Powers. They were brought to you by nobody. I was going to do a Kind of Funny Games ad, but I kind of just did it to you. So
I think it's working. Are you guys?
Yes,
I
you
hear,
hear us?
I hear the spiel. I hear the
Good.
spiel.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
I can fill
Am I
time
back?
like nobody's business.
We
Justin.
hear you.
Don't worry about
Yeah.
that.
We hear you.
Greg
We
made a
hear
whole
you.
career out of filling time. Not
Do you
really
hear us?
saying
Oh, is this the
anything.
assistant? Is
yeah,
this
I
the
don't know what the
assistant?
fuck is going
gonna beat
on.
up on this
I don't know if
assistant?
it's this room.
Let's call your assistant right now and figure this
Turn
out.
around and yell
Right
at that guy.
behind me.
Yeah,
Right
yell at
behind
that
me.
assistant. What's going on? Why is there just a
Ring
calendar up
around.
in my house?
Hey, assistant.
Hey.
You want to see? He's right down there. Look. Oh, there he is. Look at him. He's got
Wires.
cables in his hand. He's, there's no
There's
real
a lot of-
solution to this
Oh,
problem.
no. So you are are
Um,
you hardwired into your the Ethernet for your computer?
I'm
or
not,
you
but
do
I
Wi-Fi?
honestly don't think that's going to matter. And we don't even have. Do you have a connector? Yeah. So we don't have a connector to do it. So
I would
It's
say-
fine.
I would say just.
So he's
just-
just walking around
I
with that
could be,
Ethernet cord
if you
just
can
for
get
show.
a connector. If you know where they are, there's one right there. We can
I was
plug
going
in.
to say just for the future, I think that made a huge difference for me in my Mac because the Mac for some reason just did not handle Wi-Fi
Yeah.
zooms and stuff like that. So the second I hardwired in, that cleared it up a little bit. And they said,
Yeah.
you can get one of those nice little Ethernet USB-C to Ethernet connectors at Apple for $300.
No, I mean I have one. I just don't. He knows where it is. But yeah. Listen, I apologize.
We're furious.
This is our
This
podcast.
is a very serious. We
It's a
take our
perfect episode of our
shows,
podcast.
our performance on the Kind of Funny podcast, and we take it as seriously as you take time travel on Rick and Morty. All right.
I'm making a mockery of this podcast today. by
Here's where I want to jump in. I want to get you. Before I know you got to get out of here soon. I want to get you a question from patreon.com/kindafunny. Over there, Eagles fan Jordan wrote in. I want to read the entire question, but then piggyback off of it. Hi, Justin. Thank you for the constant laughs over the years. Rick and Morty has grown into something pretty unique. You've had a lot of pretty big name guests on the show. The show has been referenced or appear in quite a few movies and shows, including both versions of Justice League. And I can only imagine how often people yell lines from the show at you on the street. Is there a moment that made you take a step back and say, quote, wow, this is surreal. How did I get there? And what I want to add as a spice to this show, of course, Justin, is that what I always loved about you, and still do, but I'm not having the same thing, is that every year at IGN's San Diego Comic-Con, you would show up and demand to see Craig Harris. And this was years after Craig Harris had left IGN.
I was going to bring it up.
And it was that thing of like that, like I didn't know who you were, and I wasn't watching Rick and Morty yet, and I wasn't aware, but you were always the Craig Harris guy, which meant so much to me because, of course, I worked with Craig when he was still reviewing games, and that also proved to me that you were reading IGN from a very young age, that you had been around a long time. Like, you're one of us. That's what always cracks me up, is that you're like totally just a IGN nerd like the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, my handheld game collection is very valuable, and it's 100% thanks to Craig Harris. But I think like I have Shantae, you know, and like of the original, like it's crazy. But I think the most memorable kind of or the weirdest, you know, fan screaming quotes at me recently was guy rips his mask off and just starts spitting on my face, you know, screaming, no, I'm kidding. But could you imagine? That'd be awful. You'd be like, wait a minute.
Yes.
It's not oh my God, my Roomba is going. Hold on. I need to stop it.
That was so loud. That was amazing. I've never heard a Roomba kick up that hard. Like it had extra work.
It's like a flying Roomba. You see it come
you guys
behind
must
us.
clean the ceiling.
That scared the shit out of me. I didn't know what the fuck was happening.
No, Kevin, we don't forget. We don't forget your Roomba.
I think like, you know, like I've met, like, I think, fuck man, maybe one of the most memorable is like Catalina Island. I was on Catalina Island, and there was a fan there who recognized me, who I became friends with, and I'm friends with him to this day. And he's amazing. We text all the time. That's how I got my PS5 is through this guy. Like I literally, like, his name is Thomas. He's fucking awesome. And now we're into like vinyl video game music records. So he's like letting me know about all these weird, you know, like Genesis and SNES games on vinyl, like the soundtracks.
The Mondo ones?
Dude, weird, deep, those, but also like deep cut, weird fucking shit. Okay, if you plug this in, is it gonna like fucking disconnect me or here, just do it. See what happens. I'm going.
Find out what happens.
Just fucking do it. Here we go. Let's see. All right.
We still hear you.
Okay, yeah, it's still on the Wi-Fi. Yeah. Is it plugged into that thing? Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
Today they just released the Cobra Kai vinyl on Mondo, and I pre-ordered the shit out of that. Very excited.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, Mondo did a release for Trover Saves the Universe, actually.
That's right. Yeah, I saw it when I was checking out. Didn't buy it though.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my friends works at Mondo. I got a friend who works there.
Oh man, yeah. Alex Pardee did the art for it. Like, he's a fucking badass. Amazing artist. It's really cool. But yeah, I don't know. I think.
Do you? Are you so far gone now into being Justin Roiland, being Rick and Morty, that like it's lost on you? Because even, you know, what if you remember the Comic-Con where I finally came over and introduced you, it was after somebody was like, yeah, that's the guy who made House of Cosby's. And I was like, excuse me? Like, I fucking adore House of Cosby's. And I ran over and I'm like, you've always been the Craig Harris guy. And I just wanted to say I love House of Cosby. You're like, I think you were dressed as a turkey, and you're like, all right, see you later. And you just left. And we've been friends ever since. But it's that thing of every time I see like Eagles fan Jordan is talking about, you know, Rick and Morty in Justice League or something like that. It's crazy the way you and the show have permeated pop culture, you know, like
it's very surreal. It's super surreal. And it's sort of, it is in a lot of ways, there's sort of disassociation from the reality of it, I guess. It's super surreal. It's very weird. Dan and I never expected the show to get that big at all. Like my sort of, speaking for myself, I always sort of wanted, you know, just a show that was big enough that it would maintain, you know, more seasons, that we would just get more seasons and be able to keep making it. But for it to get this big, it's kind of insane. You'd think that they'd pay us, you know what I mean? That's the thing that I can't wrap my head around. I'm like, why are we not getting paid? You know, here we are.
It's for exposure. You're doing it for exposure.
I guess. I mean, I guess that must be what they think. It's very odd. Like, we just don't get paid. It's like, okay, how do you have one of the biggest animated shows on television and still not have any money? You know what I mean? Like, isn't that the fucking weirdest thing?
I mean,
like,
you can't even buy internet that works. Yeah, it's a problem.
It's crazy, man. You know, like, I'd love to see how, and I know time and like, you know, DVDs, and we missed the boat on all that stuff. We came later, but like, I'd love to see Seth MacFarlane's, you know, situation. I'd love to see his bank account. Just
Oh,
be like,
insane.
how the fuck, right? Like,
It's gotta be.
what
He's
the
like,
fuck?
what? They're on season like 17, and they caught it right as like animation
Yeah.
was hot.
And
they
also
just-
DVD,
Yeah.
you know, stuff was going on. I mean, you know, listen, I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I just think, look at all the good I could do in the world. You know, give me that, siphon some of that money over to me.
Look at how many
Let me do some
vinyl records
good.
I could buy of old video game themes.
I could buy that Wii with that fucking Wii, the sounds of the Wii record that's like $400. No. But like, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's like, I'll take that money and do good shit with it. Like, I'll help people. Like, give me that fucking money, Warner Brothers. No. No, but like, seriously, I think like the bigger, more important thing is with the game studio, you know, at Squanch Games, like our real, like the main big goal is like for us to just be able to keep making shit. Like we just want to keep making weird, crazy, fun shit. I have so many weird games. The team has a bunch of weird ideas for fun games. We have a very unique perspective and take comedically. And, you know, Trover is, you know, aside from us going out for financing, which we could do, you know, finding investors, or, you know, right now with our current game, like that we're making, well, whatever, I won't get into that, but it's like, we're making something really fucking cool. But it's like, yeah, like Trover sales are really important. And I think fans of Rick and Morty knowing that, hey, you know, there's a video game out there that I can play on my Switch, that I can play on my PS4, my Xbox, my PC, if I have a Quest, if I have a Vive, if I have a PSVR, I can play it on those too. That's really fucking funny and really innovative and really interesting. Doing a lot of really good narrative design stuff that's sort of unique, I think, in the gaming space. Maybe not, you know, maybe not innovative or anything in that particular area, but like certainly unique and fun. That's kind of the big thing that we're pushing this month. You know, it's like we've made a bunch of funny trailers. We made a bunch of funny cartoon or like animated shorts with Trover, kind of like shilling his game with different characters from the world. And they're really, really good. And the whole messaging, all of the messages, it's not just a VR game. And also we didn't sell that many copies, and boy, wouldn't it be nice to sell more copies so we can make more cool shit. Yeah, I mean, really that's the dream at the studio is us being able to be to have a decent revenue stream so that we can sort of independently just make more cool shit. And I think that's every indie game studio wants that. Every creative endeavor, I think everybody who's independently creative and wants to make really cool shit, they just want a good cash flow stream so they can do that, you know. And that's always been my dream as a kid. That was my dream. I was like, oh man, I remember thinking back when I was younger, if I won the lottery, I would just build a studio and make shit. You know what I mean? Like most people are like, I'd buy a yacht, I'd go this, I'd do that, I'd buy a mansion. I was like always focused on making shit. I just want to make crazy shit.
Well, that's probably why people vibe with your work, right? Because you can always tell people that are just making stuff to make money. It doesn't have the same heart and passion. And I think it kind of speaks volumes to your character. Just like if I gave you $50 million, would you still do exactly what you do right now?
Yes. You know? And that's, and I mean, aside from the money joke earlier, like that is the truth. Like I never thought about money, like ever, like Rick and Morty seasons 1, seasons 2, not once did I forgot I was getting paid. You know what I mean? It was just like, holy shit, I'm finally making a fucking show. This is what I've been working towards for all these years. The paychecks, I probably forgot to cash some of them. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even remember. Like, you know, it wasn't until season 3 when things got really difficult that I was like, how much are we making on this? Like, what's going on here? Like,
fuck, this isn't
who's getting all the money? You know, we're seeing all the toys. Like, so where is this money going? Like, how much did the show make this year? How much did this IP earn? How many, like $450 million? Who's getting that money? Like, where does that go? Like that was season 3 when that started happening. And it wasn't about like, I want money. It was more just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how is this fair to the artist? And by the way, it's not. Like this industry, all entertainment industry, all sectors, the music industry, TV, I don't know how movies are because I haven't done that, but I know music and I know TV, it's all designed to fuck the artist. It's 100%. That's why YouTube, that's why like Patreon, all that shit is so powerful. They fucking hate it. And of course it's constantly getting fucked with. The algorithm's getting fucked with. All this shit is happening. But yeah, like these big corporations, they want to own 99.99999% of the IP, the revenue, everything. They'll figure it out on paper, how to fuck you. I don't know. I shouldn't be talking about this, but like, it's true, man.
Fine.
With that though, are you interested at all in working on established IP, or are you purely just like, I want to do just my own shit?
I'm way more into creating, because like I've got so much shit in my head that's world building, character building. I'm not opposed to taking something, but I think I would want to take something that's so deep in the dirt that no one gives a shit about, or that everyone hates, because then the bar is super low. Like I would I would love to take a Jar Jar Binks, for example, and like do the Jar Jar Binks show, and but then recreate it, repackage it, do it on like change all the rules, like put him on a weird asteroid with a weird family of Jar Jar Binkses, and you just make it a whole new show, and you fucking make it awesome, and then everyone's like, I fucking hate Jar Jar Binks, but they're like, no, I've fucking seen it. Have you seen the Jar Jar Binks show? It's fucking crazy, man. It's not what you think. He's not underwater and that bullshit. It's not that. He's on a fucking asteroid.
He's on an asteroid, man.
He's on a fucking asteroid. Crazy ass totally other weird aliens, and he lives with a family. It's fucking crazy. and that would be fun. I would want to do that. I would too, but I think that there's less incentive to do that than there is to create original, like really awesome, innovative, original stuff, and develop that, and really in the game space, that's sort of where that's where I'm the most excited, because it's like, fuck, man, like creating new IP in that space is really exciting to me. If we can get something to sort of click, or at least market something properly, get it marketed properly, that'll really swing the doors wide open for us as a studio, because we have all these like smaller games that we want to make that are just really fucking cool. But we're in the middle of a big game we have to finish. We got to get through this big game that we're doing, and then once we're out of that, we're gonna make all these smaller fun games that are just really fucking cool and sticky, and like we've got prototypes for them and demos, and it's crazy what I don't know. It's just and none of that stuff is like, oh man, I wish I could get the such and such IP, or I wish we could do I'd rather just make new shit, honestly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because you mentioned earlier Double Fine, right, at the very top of the podcast, and that's like what they do, right? And why I think Double Fine's so special is that they do they do the game jams, they do whatever, but they are a team that has a creative idea and goes and makes it. And granted, I know Psychonauts 2 is what they're about to make, but most of the time it isn't, hey, let's do a sequel, or hey, let's work on an IP. It is very much like, what crazy thing do we want to do right now?
Yeah. And it's tricky because you look at Double Fine's track record, they're fucking incredibly successful critically for the most part.
Yeah.
And they have a major cult following, and I'm one of them. But they were never really like massively financially broadly successful. And so that's my big fear, is it's like, okay, how do we tick all the boxes? That's sort of I really do think Trover, obviously that game was made for VR initially, but then we started pivoting to make it a dual SKU. And I think we landed that plane really well. It's just more of an issue of marketing. But this new game is very much thinking about all that stuff. It's like, okay, how do we make a really broad, awesome title? I wish I could talk more about it. It's like I have to talk in like,
just tell us the title. Let's not be just review it right here.
It's so fucking cool. But it's like, it's way more broad. It's a broad game. And I think I don't know. We're trying to think of like, how do we do something that people are going to be able to pick up and play right away and get, but also is doing a lot of innovative stuff within that sort of packaging. But yeah, and then eventually it's just going to be like, more of that obviously down the road, but like the next move for the studio is going to be a bunch of fun, small swings, like, cheaper price point, but like really cool, really fun, replayable, interesting concepts that we've got, that we've been working on. Pretty crazy shit.
One last question before we let you go, because you have a hard out pretty soon. What are some of your favorite games of the last couple of years?
Oh man, my memory's so fucking bad, but I'll tell you what I've been playing. Let me think. I just started Resident Evil 8. I haven't put that much time in it. I wouldn't classify that as, okay, well, let's see. Favorite games. Fuck. I'm gonna be punching myself because I have
This
so
guy's
many.
never played a video game. He doesn't.
I know
play
it's
it.
it's awful. I know I have.
No, it's
I
one
have
of you get put on the spot. You can't remember what you had for breakfast this morning. I hate that. I hate that feeling.
Mini wheats.
No, Greg, that's a snack.
Ghost of Tsushima was fucking amazing. Am I saying that
Hell
right?
yeah.
Tsushima. Okay, yeah, like that was a fucking joy and a treat. And I love Sucker Punch Studio, so anything those guys make, I'll be there for. I obviously played The Last of Us 2 during the pandemic from beginning to end. I had a really good, I was expecting the ending to be that Ellie and Abby were going to end up together in the gulag from this new crazy weird psychopath cult, and that you'd have to work together to survive, and that there'd be some sort of
that would have been a good ending
or some sort. That's what I wanted. That
would have been a really good ending, actually.
And I was like, wait, why isn't that the fuck? Why didn't, and then that didn't happen. And I was just like, what the fuck? Look, I love the game. I'm not shitting on it. It was fucking amazing. And I know it's very contentious and there's all these angry people, but I thought it was a fucking stellar, incredible marvel of video game, production technology, whatever you want to call it, but design, all of it. But yeah, that ending, they teed it up. I was like, oh my God, okay. I literally was expecting to get captured, thrown into gulag, boom, who am I in there with?
She's there, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and maybe there's a bit of a tussle at first, and then it's like, okay, well, no, if we're gonna survive, we need to work together, and then we'll deal with this later. And then, of course, throughout the course of surviving, getting out, they kind of have to kind of talk to each other and realize they're the same person, and it just made so much sense. But anyways, there's a lot of really cool fucking little retro games, what's that one that just came out, where it's all digital and fucking
Naruto Boy.
Yes, Naruto Boy, fucking amazing. Now listen, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get that far because I did start to feel a little of fatigue. I was like, okay, well, what am I doing now? Where I wasn't clicking with it, right? Like hardcore, but I fucking love
more the concept of it.
Yeah, the look of it, the feel, the presentation, the God damn, it was really good. And I do think if I got a little further, I think it would click. It's there's a lot of games like Witcher 3 was a good example, which is crazy to think, but I started that game, I played for I don't know, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and it just didn't click for some reason. Put it down. Maybe 3 or 4 months later, I came back and I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm really going to give this a shot, because I was just in that headspace. And, I put in a solid 3 or 4 hours. And by the time I got to hour 3, I was just fucking addicted. I was it was one of those, it was an up all night kind of game. I was I'm not putting this down until I literally can't fucking stay awake anymore. Go to sleep, wake up, immediately right back to it. And then I was also playing it PC, and I was playing it on my little NVIDIA streaming thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
so
Shield.
You remember that thing?
I
was playing it in bed with that shit. It was fucking amazing. It was probably the worst way to play it, but the lag. But
you're doing the squints you're all up on it trying to read
yeah,
it.
it's the screen is this fucking
small
big,
UI.
And it's laggy and shit. Yeah. But I was I don't care. This is so cool. But I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of recent stuff, because I buy so much shit on Switch. I look probably twice a month, and I'll just buy a bunch of stuff. And then I probably don't play as much as I buy, sadly. Baba
That's
Is You is one. That's an older one. You guys know that game, Baba Is You?
Oh yeah, Baba Is You, yeah.
Fucking incredible. I know that's way older, but
you should play Hyper Light Drifter. It's a really great game.
I have it. No, I have. Yeah, it's fucking
fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah. No, it's a fucking amazing game.
Great minds.
What's that? What's the other one that the Bastion guys did? The newer one.
Hades.
Yeah, Hades. So fucking good.
Game of the century. God damn.
Oh, and then there's the PS5
Returnal
roguelike. Yeah.
Returnal we're all playing too. Yeah.
Really fucking cool. So yeah, there's a lot of shit. I mean, listen, lately I have to kind of steal the time to play, but it's so fucking important to me to play all the good. Oh fuck, I know a really good one. That I'm fucking in love with. It Takes Two. Have you guys played that?
Yes. Yes. Joseph Ferris.
Oh my God, it's so fucking good, dude. It's really polished, really good, really well written, funny. The performances are bizarre because they're all mocap, but they're and that weight is there. But it's really funny and good, and it works. And And just the puzzle design, the game design is just phenomenal. That studio is killing it with the 2-player couch co-op stuff. Like,
Hazelight's really cool, and yeah, for sure. I
really
think It
cool.
Takes Two is fantastic. Yeah,
A Way Out is another one. I don't know.
Yep.
There's a ton. I mean, I could sit here and go on and on as my memory catches up. But
as you
there's
start
a lot of good
store
stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
we've already kept you too long, Justin. So I'll remind everybody, of course, 5th anniversary of Squanch Games, 2nd anniversary of Trover Saves the Universe. You do not need to play Trover in VR, even though it's awesome in VR. And you can check out the PSVR show we did about it at kindoffunny.com/Trover. More importantly, one of the notes I have here from a press release is 65% off across select digital retailers as part of the seasonal sales. You can get
it's
Trover.
on sale. Go buy it. It's a fun game. Check it out
right now,
Go get
everybody. Yeah. Get out there and help them make other games, right? That's how it works. Otherwise, they have to go the Double Fine route and sell out to Microsoft. Is that what you want? You know what I mean? Is that what you want to? You want to see them gobbled up?
Not yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Give us some years. Give us a few years to make more shit.
Justin, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you, Greg. Nice to see you.
It's a pleasure.
Tell Craig Harris I said what's up.
I will. I'll let him know. Don't worry about it. All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right, see you guys.
All right, bye. And so here's the thing. Tim thinks he can just leave in the middle of an episode. He's bored, so he thinks he can just bounce in the episode and then slack that, hey, my internet died.
Yeah, my internet died, meaning I gotta get lunch.
That's an
Ladies
embarrassing.
and gentlemen, we have a post show to do, all right? And we're just going to strictly talk about Tim Gettys and what we think of this guy. All right, we love him. He's very awesome.
Fucking finally.
He's really great. We love him. He's a fantastic person. We couldn't do Kind of Funny without him. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, twice a week, we come together to bullshit about all the bullshit we want to bullshit about. If you like that, you can head over to patreon.com/kindoffunny, where you can write in for us and our guests. You can get the show ad-free. You can get the show with the exclusive post show we do twice a week, each and every week. However, if you have no bucks toss our way, it's no big deal. Each and every episode goes live on youtube.com/kindoffunny. Rooster Teeth and podcast services around the globe each and every week. You can go get a new one up there. Yeah, we're gonna do this post show now, and Nick's gonna have a lot to answer for. So until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you. I was gonna say answer for you. Serve you. It's been a pleasure to serve you.
Would it be too difficult to switch over to Discord?
No problem at all. Everybody run into Discord, jump in the pool.
Sure.
They're coming. We're gonna turn that on. We're gonna turn this on. Boom. Wait till they all get in here. Wait. Yep. One more.
I'm here.
I still gotta just turn on the virtual cam. Here we go.
And we are living with a virtual cam. And I am a virtual cam. Brr-doo-doo. Some Nickies like to be the Nicky. Some Nicks like to Nick. Some Nicks.
All right.
That was the song I just made up, Nick. You know what I mean?
That was good. I've never heard that particular melody before, but it sounded.
I didn't make up the melody. I made up the lyrics.
Oh, okay. So you stole the melody.
Material Girl from Madonna is what we're doing. Are we recording now? Are we into Kevin? Are we doing it?
Oh, we didn't cut.
Okay, perfect. That's what I like to hear. Here's the thing. We don't talk about. I feel like Madonna has somehow been forgotten by history, Nick.
No,
I don't hear enough about Madonna, and I
Yeah.
don't hear her music played enough.
She defined 2 decades. So
I know, but where's the conversation about her? Where's her music being played on the radio? Why isn't it being optioned in commercials? When I go to the Spotify playlist, I'll play some of it here and there, but it's just not permeating pop culture. Andy Cortez, former member of Ambulina, do you agree?
I totally agree, Greg. I think
Thank
that well, I mean, no, I don't agree actually. I
Okay,
disagree.
well, fuck me.
Okay.
Because I feel like even
Wait,
now
Andy,
she still pops up and does
your
things.
camera's off, Andy. I don't know. If
What
you
is
do
she
that.
doing?
No, his camera's not off. It's there.
My camera's on.
Oh, mine's it's just off for me. Sorry.
Your camera, your
never mind.
mic
You're
is
good.
quiet.
Discord's doing this new thing where you have to refresh sometimes. I've had
Yeah.
No, I disabled this video because sometimes I disable the videos when we're streaming, so it doesn't
Got
eat up
it.
bandwidth.
Gotcha.
My bad.
Quick question here, Andy.
Is it
are
about
you
Madonna?
No, it's about Ambulina.
What's up?
Fair enough. Then I'll allow
An
it.
equally popular band.
Are you totally? Madonna's not a band, right? Are you out of
That was a state of
Ambulina?
mind, bro.
Like, is Ambulina over?
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah.
Ambulina. It's been 20 years since the last time they played.
I don't know, but
It
maybe
doesn't
they
live in the
meet
same
up
city,
once a
but yeah.
year. You know? On top
No,
of a
we just
mountain
That'd be awesome.
with an
Yeah,
amp.
well,
no,
can
like we're
can we
all
talk
still
ab-
friends except for the lead singer.
Is he just a dick? Did he get egotistical?
He just wasn't a very good person and lied a lot and was like a didn't want to work and all sorts of stuff like that. And then he found God, and apparently he's a better person now, and great for him. I'm happy for him. But yeah, there was a while there where like it was pretty contentious between all of us. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate because like he's so talented.
Who owns
what
the
if
name?
we made Greg the lead singer?
Oh, like I mean, nobody, Kevin. I don't know.
So Amelina doesn't have to be dead. Is all I'm saying.
I
Like,
love how in Kevin's brain you guys were Metallica and you had this giant brand and people owned them. You're like, they never signed a contract. They just went and gigged together.
That's not what I'm saying. Well, I mean, like, but whoever claims, the right, I think it's like land, right? If it's unclaimed, you can go in there and stick a fork in the ground.
You're right.
And it's
Stick
yours.
a fork in it. He's done.
Exactly. Here's the thing. I think we do a lot of fun Patreon tiers, as you know what I mean? When we get to January, we always have the thermometer.
You're making sense.
At what part of the thermometer, Andy, do we need to put on there Ambelina Beatles reunion? Because what I'd love to see is you guys do one more show from the roof of the studio. You know what I mean? You ever seen that thing the Beatles did? Where they're on the roof?
Oh my gosh.
Fucking cool. Kevin, are you familiar with this?
When we finally do the Kind of Funny studio launch party, you know what I mean, in 2022. That checks out.
Yeah, Nick,
and everybody's COVID free. Ambelina headlines from the top of the building.
That's pretty simple because all we would need to do is just like we can just rent equipment from Guitar Center. We don't need to buy shit.
Here's the
but if we buy one,
you just talked yourself out of getting a whole bunch of new equipment. That was a stupid move, but yeah.
I am planning on buying a new guitar actually.
Oh,
I'm planning on
Oh shit,
buying
we were
a new
talking
guitar.
about this yesterday on what was it yesterday? It was a couple days ago maybe. Yeah, it was when Nick was playing Uncharted. And we saw a guitar, and I was like, why doesn't Andy have a dope guitar like that? And Nick was like, I've got the credit card out.
What kind of guitar was it?
I forget what kind of guitar it was, Andy, but the guy was
Cool
playing
kind?
it instead of down here where the frets kind of meet the little like the pickups. He was playing it like all up here, and it was the coolest way to play a guitar.
Was it an electric guitar?
Yeah, it was electric guitar. So he was like, but instead of playing it like strumming down here, where like you normally would, he like walked up the frets and was just like strumming it up on the top of the thing, and I thought it was the coolest.
Was
thing
he
ever.
finger picking too? Like was he?
I think he
using
must
his
have been.
fingers to also hit the frets with his right hand.
It looks like maybe I don't. You're
Interesting.
getting into more technical. You're like blue belt level right now. I'm still white belt level here with this.
Okay,
I don't
sure.
understand how any of this works, but it was really cool. So we thought we need to get you a new guitar, but it has to be like an '80s guitar. So it has to have like a sharp angle on it, like a big old like. Arrow.
So yeah, Claudio from Coed and Cambria uses the Gibson Explorer. If you look that up, you'll know. That's probably exactly what you're thinking of, the Gibson Explorer. It has a very polygonal, polygonal, Ambelina, has a very polygonal sort of sharp, obtuse angle to it.
That's it. That's the one. That's so sick.
That's the one you were thinking of, yeah.
What is
We used to call Ambelina polygonal. I could never remember the name of his band.
He
I
couldn't
called it
remember
Polygonal.
Ambelina, so he called us Polygonal.
I just
forgot
thought
about
Andy
that.
was a
That's
video
funny.
game and art nerd, so I just thought, of course he named his band Polygonal.
Those Gibsons very good, very expensive as well.
Oh, shit.
So the thing with the guitars
How dope
is,
is
Greg,
that?
like let's say you want to buy an Acura, but you can't afford it. You get a Honda, right? Or if you want to buy back in the day you wanted to buy a Toyota, you couldn't afford it, you bought a Scion, that sort of thing, When you want to buy a Gibson but you can't afford it, you get an Epiphone. That's the brand below it. They look exactly the same. It's just, cheaper materials, the pickups aren't as good, the hardware isn't as good. If you want to buy a Fender, you buy a Squire. Okay. But the thing is, the entry points of the Fender and the Gibson very different. Like the entry point of getting a Fender, about $600, $500. The entry point of getting a Gibson, about $1,000. So like, I could be way wrong there. I probably am. So it's very, very different, gaps in what you're trying to do.
Sure.
But it is like Coke and Pepsi. Are you a Fender guy? Are you a Gibson guy? I'm a Fender guy.
Tim, welcome back to the Kind of Funny
I'm back.
podcast.
Andy,
Sorry
we
about
can
that.
rock out with this?
Kim, you missed right as you left. Justin told us the title of his new game and said that we could all be a part of it, except for you.
Wow.
Except
wow,
for you,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
What we've now discussed here, Tim, is that at the Kind of Funny studio launch party in 2022, asterisks, COVID and life allows. We're gonna
you're calling my band asterisk.
We're gonna do an Ambelina reunion, like the Beatles did when they played on that roof. You ever see this footage of them playing on the roof the last time? We're gonna do that with Ambelina. They'll play on the studio roof.
On the roof, okay.
So
I like that.
Just a couple points of feedback for that. I think the neighbors really loved when the Beatles did that. because they were the Beatles. I don't know if like Tom's Automotive is gonna really be into Ambolina or rocking out.
You never know, man.
Fucking Safeway down the street.
Look,
all these
we
people are
had
trying to live their
All
life.
the neighbors behind us are just gonna be like, huh.
We had
that's
a huge following in the west areas of Texas that we didn't think we did.
Do you
Showed
think
up there,
in the
lot of people.
neighborhoods of Daly City, you think there's gonna be one or two?
Who knows?
hardcore
There might be a couple
Ambolina
people. Be
fans
like, I
that are
remember
gonna
y'all
be
from
holding it
Facebook.
down?
Y'all almost won that competition for the Warped Tour. I remember that.
Dude, could you even just dial it back on could you even fucking imagine you're in London and you're just living your life and all of a sudden you hear Beatles music? You're like, who the fuck is playing Beatles music so loud? And you look out your window and it's the Beatles on the rooftop next
So
door to you.
badass.
That would be just an like people are like, no one's ever gonna believe this. I hope someone's filming this because no one's ever gonna believe they did that.
The
It's
acoustics
such
are
a cool thing.
terrible. What are they doing?
It's just all going. Andy's just going out into this. It's just going out.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
It's,
no one can hear
it's not
anything.
bouncing off of anything.
Unbelievable.
It's all about that visual.
That shit wouldn't
Epic
happen
photos.
today. The cops would have to shut that shit down immediately.
There's no
Like,
PA. They're just playing straight out of the amps.
That was awesome. What a cool day.
Could be a
What a cool
cool
day
thing,
that would've been.
Hold on. So we just had Justin Roiland on. That was cool. That
Yeah.
was fucking awesome.
Cool guy.
Our lives are dope. Greg, you're about to fucking host a live stream today with DJ Khaled and Megan Fox.
Yeah,
like,
I'm excited
and
about
I
this.
feel like kind of funny. He's just grown to this point that things happen. We obviously have conversations and Slack things that go down, but like, this is just a thing where Greg and Joey are going to hang out with DJ Khaled and Megan Fox. That's just on the calendar. And we're all just kind of like, yeah, that's happening.
That makes
Like,
sense.
that
That's
shouldn't
life.
be how things
That's
are.
life.
Like,
Yeah. All for LG, the OLED
or
TV
LG
you love
OLED.
so
Are you
much.
kidding me?
Love them. I got one.
Yeah, we all do.
They're great TVs.
Well, us three do. I don't know.
Well,
what
I
Andy
don't.
has.
Andy will one day. He's one of
Yeah.
the last converts.
But
out there.
I'm at the point where it's like, dude, I don't ever watch TV anymore just
I know.
because of the location of it. When it
It's
was
right behind
against
you.
this wall, I watched TV all the fucking time. And now that I have to lay at a weird angle, I just use my iPad. That's how I've been like
Why don't you
watching
put-
a
wait,
lot of my
Andy-
shit.
So why don't you put it against the other wall again? Is it just you just rearrange
I like
everything
the
you just want
placement
to?
of it here. It creates a lot more room right here
I see.
because these things are sort of switched around and my window is no longer covered. I
so
have
you the
access
TV in
to
front
my
of the
window now.
And
yeah,
yeah.
that's smart. I understand that.
Sup, Kev?
Are like if we talk to the landlord, can we mount it? Because you can have it
But
right
he's got
there.
a window there.
Well,
I
hold
would
on,
love that,
Nick.
Kevin. Just
Hold
to have
on.
like the really nice
Yeah.
rotating sort of thing.
Yep. I can get
That'd
you
be
one for
great.
$80, maybe $100. A really nice arm that'll come out maybe 2.5 feet. You can turn it to the left, and you just lie in bed.
I'm gonna point.
watching
I'm gonna paint a
movies.
picture for you on that one, Andy. You
Eyes
pull it
wide
out,
shut,
You're
you know?
watching it. You fall asleep. You wake up in the middle of the night to go take a pee. Gouge your
Greg's
eye
in
out
there.
on the side of that TV.
Oh,
Greg's in there
wow.
right behind the TV. dressed
I
as
was
a
holding up the TV the whole
I
time.
was gonna say you wake up in the middle of the night. Suddenly you're on the loft bed. Kevin just built it.
He's like, Kevin's holding you up.
Andy,
Kevin's like, I'm
Andy.
waiting for a part. He's like, I'm waiting for a part to come from Home Depot.
Andy, the loft bed would change your world. I just want you to know
know it
that.
would.
You'd be like,
Might
It
rock
would be
this
Room's
so
room's
uncomfortable,
enormous.
and you'd fall out of
Damn,
it.
that's
It
good.
wouldn't be
You'd fall out of it.
uncomfortable, Nick. If Nick built you
He's
a
got
loft bed, it would be
queen-size bed. You
uncomfortable.
can get a loft
You
bed, a
can.
queen-size bed.
First of all, you can build it yourself, or you can buy. It's expensive. It's expensive, but
Yeah, I
that
would
seems
build
like
it
a
for you.
taxable expense.
Kev, stop talking. I'm worried
yeah,
about your voice,
you
buddy.
sound like you're at the end of your rope, Kevin. you just sound like you're at the end
And,
of it.
and like I haven't done anything. I don't know why it's just going away. It's just going away.
We
You
just
got
love We
vacation
want you to be
next week,
safe,
Nemo.
right? Be
I'm
safe.
excited for you.
You got that vocal
Before
fry.
the show went live, when we were just like in the little pre-show thing, like, because I don't know what's going on with Kev. I haven't heard about this. I obviously hear his voice and hear that something's wrong. But then he described what happened as he sneezed so hard that it ripped his throat. And I'm just like,
it was
fucking
worse then.
goddamn,
It was
Kev.
worse then. Yeah, I mean, you've all heard me sneeze. It's very.
I've done that
violent.
before. I've
It's
done that
very
before.
violent.
Kevin.
Yeah.
You rip a vocal cord you didn't even know. You're hitting muscles you weren't aware existed.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Just
Kevin,
When you
they're
have a crazy
casting for Legends of
workout.
the Hidden Temple. I don't know if you guys saw this,
it
but
sounds really
I'm
cool.
officially signing me and you up as a team.
I want to see
100%.
that.
So
bad.
I'm hoping
so
this
down.
happens. Because I
hope
feel
we
like the two of us,
I
we
hope
got
we
this shit
have-
on lock.
like I've never seen the show. Well, I mean, I have, but like
You
at
need
your
to invite
house.
Cool Greg.
when we were
dude. Are you
like
kidding
10.
me?
Yeah,
Cool
you
Greg
gotta-
is
no
way
offense to
more.
Cool Greg and
him on
Andy.
this one,
Cool
but I
Greg and
feel like
Andy
Cool
on that
Greg
one.
and- well, I think Kevin's problem solving abilities and like puzzle solving abilities would go very well. But Cool Greg could do any physical challenges that is necessary. But I
Yeah,
would like to
or
pour
which-
some slime down Tim's pants. Was that Legends of the Hidden Temple? Was that the
No.
slime one?
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah,
He's
I
gonna
I
get
can't do this on
slimed.
television.
If we're
No,
on
that's
TV, he's gonna get slimed
guts.
for sure.
That's guts. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's your post show. Thanks for hanging
Just
out with
comes
us
up
today.
with slime. It's poorly. Not even part of the show.
Do it. You put on the thermometer. Put on a thermometer next time we do
Slime
thermometer.
Tim's pants.
Slime Tim's pants. Thanks for your support on Patreon. We love and appreciate you. Until next time, Andy, play us out with some Ambulina tunes.
And he'll say anything, and I'd be there. I can't think of the harmony right now.
No
It was
wonder.
good though. You did it. You did it.